On a stormy night in New York City, Special Agent Sarah Mitchell sat alone inside FBI headquarters. Rain pounded against the windows as she reviewed a new case. A key witness named David Ross had disappeared without a trace just 4 days before a major corruption trial. Sarah studied the investigation board covered with photographs, maps, and evidence. David Ross was the government's most important witness against billionaire businessman Victor Kane. Without David, the entire case could collapse. News channels across the country reported David's disappearance. Reporters speculated about kidnapping, witness intimidation, and corruption. The pressure on the FBI grew stronger every hour. Late that night, Sarah carefully reviewed David's case file. Something didn't feel right. David had been preparing to testify. Why would he suddenly disappear voluntarily? The next morning, Sarah and her team searched David's apartment. Everything appeared normal. There were no signs of a struggle, no broken furniture, and no evidence of forced entry. Then Sarah noticed a half-finished cup of coffee and an open laptop on the kitchen table. It looked as though David had left in a hurry. On the laptop screen, a digital map displayed a single location marked in red, an abandoned warehouse near the city docks. It was the first real clue. That night, Sarah led an FBI team to the warehouse. Rain fell heavily as agents moved through the darkness with flashlights and weapons ready. Inside the warehouse, dust covered the floors and broken windows rattled in the wind. At first, the building seemed empty, but Sarah knew there had to be something hidden inside. Behind a steel wall, agents discovered a secret surveillance room filled with computers, cameras, and monitors. Someone had been running a sophisticated operation from this location. The walls were covered with hundreds of photographs of David Ross. Every movement of his life had been tracked for months. Whoever was behind this had planned everything carefully. Back at FBI headquarters, Sarah spent the entire night analyzing evidence. She searched for connections, patterns, and mistakes the criminals might have made. While reviewing security footage, Sarah discovered a black SUV parked outside David's apartment on the night he vanished. David had entered the vehicle willingly. Sarah zoomed in on the footage. The driver's face was hidden, but one small detail stood out. A tattoo was visible on the man's wrist. The tattoo showed a black raven. FBI databases quickly identified the suspect as Eric Doyle, a former military contractor with a long criminal record. Further investigation revealed that Eric Doyle worked for Victor Kane's private security company. Sarah finally had a connection between the witness and the businessman. An FBI tactical team immediately raided Doyle's house. Agents surrounded the property and entered carefully, expecting resistance. But Doyle was gone. The house was completely empty. He had escaped before the FBI arrived, leaving behind almost no evidence. The next morning, a mysterious package arrived at FBI headquarters. Inside was a photograph showing David Ross alive. On the back were 4 threatening words: "Stop looking or else." Most agents saw the photograph as a warning. Sarah saw something else. Hidden in the image were clues: a shipping container, a dock number, and reflections in a nearby window. Using advanced analysis, Sarah traced the clues to a cargo yard near the harbor. Every detail brought the FBI one step closer to finding David. Before sunrise, dozens of FBI agents launched a large-scale operation at the shipping container yard. Sarah led the team through rows of containers. Suddenly, gunfire erupted. Suspects tried to escape while agents took cover and returned fire. Several criminals were arrested during the intense confrontation. Inside the cargo yard, agents found a laptop displaying a live video feed. David Ross appeared tied to a chair in an unknown location. A countdown timer showed less than 1 hour remaining. By analyzing audio from the video, Sarah identified an abandoned railway warehouse. The FBI launched a final rescue mission, saved David Ross, arrested the kidnappers, and gathered enough evidence to arrest Victor Kane. Months later, Kane was convicted in court, and justice was finally served.